සතුට බෙදන නම
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සැනසුම දෙන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
එය සිංහ නම මුළු පවුලට සතුට සදන සිංහ අති විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය.
Isn't it time to grow up? Now you can with current accounts from DFCC Bank. DFCC Bank. Keep growing.
Some see a myriad of possibilities ready to break out in glory. The choice of every Sri Lankan, no limit.
පිරිසිදු ෆ්‍රෙෂ් හිසක් තියෙන පිරිමි ශක්තිමත් ඒත් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි වලට පුළුවන් ඒ ශක්තිය නැති කරන්න මම ක්ලියර් මෙන් තෝරගන්නේ ඒ නිසයි ක්ලියර් මෙන් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි zero කරන නැවුම් මෙන්තෝල් වලින් සමන්විත නිසා මගේ හිස කෙස් හැම විටම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් ඒ වගේම ඉස්සොරි වලින් නිදහස් ක්ලියර් මෙන් ඉස්සොරි zero කරයි ලොව අංක 1 මෙන්ස් ෂැම්පූ
Let's start a life-changing partnership. Union Assurance.
Isn't it time to grow up? Now you can with home loans, education loans and vehicle loans from DFCC Bank. DFCC Bank. Keep growing.
Let's start a life-changing partnership. Union Assurance.
Energetic and daring, some see the world in vibrant shades. The choice of every Sri Lankan, no limit.
පිරිසිදු ෆ්‍රෙෂ් හිසක් තියෙන පිරිමි ශක්තිමත් ඒත් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි වලට පුළුවන් ඒ ශක්තිය නැති කරන්න මම ක්ලියර් මෙන් තෝරගන්නේ ඒ නිසයි ක්ලියර් මෙන් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි zero කරන නැවුම් මෙන්තෝල් වලින් සමන්විත නිසා මගේ හිස කෙස් හැම විටම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් ඒ වගේම ඉස්සොරි වලින් නිදහස් ක්ලියර් මෙන් ඉස්සොරි zero කරයි ලොව අංක 1 මෙන්ස් ෂැම්පූ
සතුට බෙදන නම
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සැනසුම දෙන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
එය සිංහ නම මුළු පවුලට සතුට සදන සිංහ අති විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය.
And Lantra now, Lantra has some pace. He's going to go straight outside, he's going to go all the way.
This is Harry Bandara. Runs around, what a brilliant drive.
Draws and passes. Beautifully done. Yes, St. Joseph's going in for the try, and it's a try.
Hello and a very good afternoon, a very good evening, wherever you're watching from on your number one sports hub, www.thepapare.com. And this is Singers Schools Rugby League 2018, the penultimate week. Here we are bringing you live pictures from a muddy and a soggy Havelock Park. As you can see, the rain has been pouring down since in the afternoon here. And so has the entire week or two. Entire Sri Lanka has been under the rain, but we are bringing you live actions and on this major Milroy Fernando Trophy between Royal versus Isipathana. Of course, Isipathana College, the Green Machine, are the hosts today after playing their last year's fixture at the Royal Complex. Both teams are looking solid, but Royal, the title contenders, they are so far unbeaten. And both these schools didn't play, and not a single school in fact didn't play last week due to some issues with the referees and the spectators, fans and some old boys. So it's all sorted now, and we are ready to bring you live pictures from this penultimate weekend. Joining me in the commentary, Abdullah Yusuf, former Royal skipper, and also a veteran, a legend, SW Chang is joining me in the commentary today. Abdullah, firstly, thoughts about this game, Abdullah?
Yes, a crucial game, not just for the fact that it's a traditional trophy played for the Major Milroy Fernando Trophy, but also in the context of the league. Royal very much contenders, so far been unbeaten. Isipathana, few bumps along their journey, going down to St. Peter's in the first round and then drawing last week against Trinity. But just looking at the form just leading up to this game, Sabir, both teams I think have not come into this game with particularly good performances a couple of weeks ago. Royal just beating Wesley by a very, very close margin, and their overall performance left quite a bit to be desired. So from their point of view, they'll definitely want to put in a much better performance today and hopefully go into a decider with probably which will be St. Peter's. From Isipathana's point of view, they too would be disappointed with their performance last week against Trinity. Playing in Colombo, I'm sure they would have wanted to notch up a victory.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the dark clouds, 29 Celsius, and also wind speed 23 kilometers per hour from the southeast, and the humidity is still 81%. But it's honestly, talking about this weather, SW Chang, what do you think? Royal will favor this weather?
Well, I think everybody favors this weather, Sabir, because it's lovely to play rugby in the mud. But the only thing, the referees might have a difficult task by trying to identify the players. So will we. And yes, the weather is fantastic for rugby, no doubt about that.
But someone said something for you when you enter, or did you say something? The referees in the middle and the... All right, we'll talk about later, Abdullah. And talking about this clash, what sort of game plan that Coach Dushyant Luike will opt, because we know how threatening Royal with their forwards and the driving maul, but we see, comparing to all these years, that Royal have the luxury of the backs as well, Dilshan among them, and also probably the best centre combination with Tuleib Hassan after Kushan Indunil and Sumudhu Rankotke of Isipathana in the recent past.
Yes, a lot will depend on the two centres, but it'll also depend on how they are utilised. I think in the last game against Wesley, they were running a bit lateral. I'd like to see both of them using their physicality against this Isipathana line and running straight lines, taking it up and trying to get players around them into space. But just talking about the conditions, I think it's going to be crucial how well both teams play the conditions. It's not a game where you can just throw the ball around. Tactically, both coaches will have to be very astute. Leading up to this game, the weather also was pretty much similar, so I'm sure they would have practiced in these conditions. But how well they execute their plans and those particular plans could very well decide which team comes out on top today.
Absolutely, and let's have a look at the weekly roundup of this Single Schools Rugby League 2018. Royal on song, so as St. Peter's in the Pool B. And this was Abdullah Yusuf was talking about Trinity versus Isipathana. Very close game. What a draw is that, Abdullah?
Yes, Trinity got off to a bit of a flyer, but Isipathana holding their nerve to come back slowly into the game. There we see Trinity going over for their second score, and at that time I think most of the Pathana supporters would have had their hearts in their mouths really, because it was a game that Isipathana were expected to win, but fortunately I think some good defense plus some wonderful place kicking by their skipper Ruberu just managed allowed them to salvage a draw.
Wonderful cover tackle, in fact try saving tackle. And next up Zaira versus St. Joseph's back in Maradana. And Zaira, well, they considered just single try until the 30th minute, Abdullah, and then St. Joseph's two back-to-back tries after 25 minutes of the game, and they went to the half-time with a comfortable leading, but one try was not allowed. In fact, then St. Joseph's, after scoring 26 points, Zaira getting a final try, a consolation try to make it 12 points to 26. Joseph's on song on that game. And then this game, Royal versus Wesley, it was quite unaccepted incident happened, and lovely draw and pass by Murshid Zubair. All the Wesleys and the Royals hard work was not spoken during that weekend, Abdullah.
Yes, a pretty unfortunate really the incidents after the game, but overall it was a wonderful game. Wesley definitely showed up, put their best foot forward, and really could have very well pulled that game off, but Royal eventually just prevailing. Royal, I think, will want to put in a much better performance today. I thought their the pack on that day were quite lackluster in their performance, so definitely they'll want to put in a much better performance considering the conditions today as well.
Absolutely, I'm sure that last week's results won't hamper Royal in terms of their scoreboard tally. And this is the other game, Kingswood versus St. Peter's. And St. Peter's, once again, it's a soggy, wet outfield at the same venue. Kingswood tried their best to counter, and this is one incident where Kingswood players scored a try early on, putting some pressure. It was only 10 points to 7 at the 43rd minute, and then since then St. Peter's managed to score one more try to make it 20. And Kingswood, quite an improved team comparing their first loss to Royal, Abdullah. After that they were so good.
Yes, and so has St. Peter's been. I thought they were quite mediocre going into that first round, but in the second round they seem to have picked up their performance and definitely look very much league contenders. Lot will depend on their game at London Place today against arch rival St. Joseph's.
And you can see the wet outfield. We just witnessed the under-16s playing, and both the teams are in their warm-ups, and I'm sure they need to work a lot to get some to burn some energy, because the weather is such. And we'll have a look at a few results in the week before. St. Peter's 20, Kingswood 10, and Isipathana, that's the first draw of this Single Schools Rugby League 2018. And then St. Joseph's 26 to 12 over Zaira, and then the close encounter 18 points to 17, Royal versus Wesley. So we are bringing live pictures of this Major Milroy Fernando Trophy. You can see the tally. Isipathana winning 15 times and 5 draws and 9 wins for Royal.
Yeah, absolutely. The tally favors Isipathana, but this evening I think it's very. If you look at the matches that have been playing between these two sides, and before a game, Isipathana always have been favourites over Royal, maybe barring 1 or 2 years. But having said that, it's the other way around. Royal are definitely hot favourites this evening. And if you switch over to the Longdon Place, St. Joseph, St. Peter's have always been the favourite side, and St. Joseph nowhere. But this year, last year, the stories have changed, and that argues well for rugby for the future. And having come back to Milroy, Major Milroy Trophy, Major Milroy, because the old Royalist, and then he died in action, and his father, who was also brigadier in the army, the late Dudley Fernando, awarded this trophy in memory of his son. And that family has contributed father and the 2 sons have been in the forces, and of course we know what a contribution Dilroy Fernando has made for rugby. So it's a huge, that family is a contributing factor for sports in this country, and they are playing for that trophy. And I think Isipathana are the holders of the trophy right now.
Absolutely, Changa. Thanks for that insight. Certainly, Major Milroy Fernando have done quite a lot of work, so has Dilroy Fernando. And what will bring you next is a few highlights of last year's this Isipathana versus Royal encounter. And it's this is how it started. Randy Silva with the kickoff and Isipathana off to a flyer. And you can see the difference in the weather. And then Royal with their trademark firepower, that rolling maul. And Royal leading at the 32nd minute. Then Tulib Hassan barging through. And then 14 points to 5 was the halftime score. And this is the turning point for Isipathana College. And the fullback all the way. Unfortunately, Royal fullback just couldn't hold on to that ball, and lovely step by Isipathana fullback, probably the man of the moment last year. It was Chamud Fernando, now playing for CRNFC. Also played for Sri Lanka under 27's team and also under 19-15's team. It was all even Steven at the 74th minute, and then this try came from the skipper to put the final points to Isipathana. 22 points to 17. Royal did have the opportunity with some position. Abdullah, I'm sure you were there at the Royal Complex. And Randy Silva just take the tap and kick it out. I'm not sure whether he took the tap on that occasion, Abdullah, but all in all, it was a wonderful game for Isipathana.
Yes, it was a wonderful game. I thought it was a very good fight back by Isipathana after trailing 14 points to 5. They fought back brilliantly. But over the years, I think this encounter has always produced some very good rugby. It has had its moments as well of controversy, which always added spice to this rivalry. But two schools with a very good history in terms of winning championships, in terms of producing good quality rugby players. So I think we can expect another very good game today. And just comparing to last year, I think this year the game will probably be much more tighter considering the underground conditions. And as we discussed earlier, the team that probably adapts and executes to these conditions the best will probably end up as victors.
And this is the Royal team. And last year players just supporting Royal team. And this is a performance tally. Isipathana played 7, won 5, lost 1 and draw 1. At the moment they are positioned 4th in this year's league. And that's the first draw against Trinity College, a 12-all nail biter. And then we'll have a look at Royal, played 7 and won 7, unbeaten team. So as St. Peter's in the other group, and they're pulled first. Can Isipathana make a trouble for the group leaders? So we'll wait and see. But my co-commentators Abdullah Yusuf and SW Chang are confident with Royal, because regardless of this weather, but their performance has been tremendous this season, and also great work by Dushant Leke, first time as the head coach.
Yes, he's done very well to bring this team thus far. I'm sure they'll want to just finish the season off. Probably could say half of the season is complete with that Bradby victory, but still the league very much in their sights. Being defending champions, it would be a wonderful achievement if they can retain the title this year. But still a lot of rugby to be played against two very good teams in Isipathana and St. Peter's. But I think all focus will be on today's game, because Isipathana, very proud rugby school, wonderful tradition. They are not going to lay down. Royal, obviously the more experienced team, but having said that, Isipathana have got some wonderful runners in their team as well. So Royal will need to be on their game today if they are to pull this one off, because the thing is, when conditions are like this, it always brings the underdog into play much more. So Royal will need to be very accurate in terms of the execution of their plans. And if they can do that, then I don't see any reason why they cannot come out as victors.
Absolutely. There we saw Henry Terrence acting as a halfback in this warm-up. SW?
I want to just ask a question from Abdul, because I'm very, very keen, and I always say that
We'll come back to that, SW. We'll go look at this points table. You can see clearly Royal and St. Peter's are the front runners with 40 points each, and followed by St. Joseph's 37 and Isipathana in the 4th place as 31 points. Kingswood with 3 wins, 19 points, and they will be playing against Zaira tomorrow at Bogambara, and then Wesley, Trinity and Zaira in the bottom 8 in this cup segment. Go ahead, SW.
Yeah, just a question. I mean, having played for Royal, because it's very, I've been mentioning this. If you come into the Royal Stadium, and Royal always take the on the left part corner, they practice on that side. And this evening, if you see the main stand, and on the left hand side they are practicing again. What's so significant about that? Because they always train on the left, and when they get to that point at a game, they are so much focused on it than the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether superstition comes into it or what, Chang. Not quite clear what you're alluding to, but nonetheless, generally a lot of sportsmen are very conscious of little things like that. It's more, as Sabir said, more psychological than anything else, but end of the day, I don't think that would play a big part, but maybe we can ask the coach or captain later on and get back on that one.
Sure, having studied Royal, if I was coaching on the other side, I would have gone there and got that end to do the warm-ups and psychologically taken Royal out before the game.
Yes, well, interesting insight there by SW, being a veteran coach over the years. Was all the tricks of the trade. But nonetheless, I think both teams are just coming back to the warm-up as well. With overcast conditions, it's interesting to see how both teams are warming up. Generally, in Sri Lanka, it's hot and humid, so coaches are more inclined to have short and sharp warm-up sessions and not drag it out too long. But today, with overhead conditions being very overcast and the sun just not in sight as all, I think both coaches seem to have opted for a longer warm-up and just to get the guys nice and ready in time for the kickoff. So that could play an important part as well. It's just those little things, isn't it, Chang, that make a big difference just within those 10-15 minutes, just to stamp your authority on the game. The warm-up, the pep talks before, just those little things go a long way, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, quite very right, because you got to get the start right to end up right, and that's the main thing. And I was just wondering about the flight of the kicks, what they're going to make, whether it'll skid on or whether it'll just chunk and then go into the ground, and it's going to play a vital role. But I don't think the pitch is that bad, so that the kicks will carry, because the boot is going to play a vital role.
Yeah, the thing with Sri Lankan rugby is I think all our Sri Lankan players like to have the ball in hand. They like to throw the ball around. The kicking game, tactically at least, is not a very big part of it. But in conditions like this, kicking from the base, out of hand, could prove very crucial. And not just that, the chase as well. So I think those kind of tactics, let's just hope that the coaches have practiced that. They have identified situations where they will be employing that tactic. Because especially when you're your own half, you don't want to be throwing the ball around and just putting yourself under pressure. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams approach this and how well they execute those plans that have been laid out to them by the coaches over the week.
Absolutely, Abdullah. We just witnessed some great handling by Isipathana, where they are known for. And if you talk about keeping the position, keeping the ball in hand, if you watch the Highlanders versus Hurricanes yesterday, especially in that 38th minute to 44th minute, Abdullah, we know the halftime is at 40th minute. 40th minute, 14 All Blacks are playing. My goodness, how many turnovers on that game, and finally Highlanders did score and they eventually became winners in that game. And talking about, we spoke about Dushan Leuke, we know Henry Terence is the assistant coach, and also Lacinda Di Costa has done a yeoman's service. We know how good he was as a player, and talking about his experience as a coach, he's so far has done a good job. He also had a stint with the coaches in the Hurricanes camp, Abdullah.
Yes, I'm sure that experience would have helped him no end, and having Henry around with him also, he'll be able to bounce off a lot of ideas, because Henry also is a very experienced campaigner, not just in coaching but in terms of playing as well. So I think both coaches would also have emphasized the points that they need to do to try and get off to a good start, and how to just contain this Royal pack, because I think the physicality is going to be a big part of it, and that's an area I think Royal will need to capitalize on as much as possible, because physically they'll be able to I think always try and get Royal on the front foot as far as possible. It just did not happen in that Wesley game. One reason could be to probably give a bit of credit to the Wesley defense as well. But I don't think the Royal forward pack put their best foot forward in that game. They'll definitely need to up their game today, because this Isipathana, we all know how passionate they are. The crowd is going to come into it, and they're going to just try and pin Royal on the back foot as much as possible. So from that point of view, I think this is going to be a very, very intense game considering the conditions as well.
Talking about the coaches, I think we have the forgotten factor that Royal got Ferretti with them, and and Sharif too, Mohammad Sharif too, and they have shaped the three quarters. Today we can see the three-quarter line moving so well, and to Sharif and to Ferretti's ability to get them going, and of course Dushan Luke has done a tremendous job, no doubt about that. He has conditioned those players to a point, they could go on and on for another 2 seasons, and that speaks very well for future rugby. And hopefully that with Lasita Gunrat, the designate president of the Sri Lanka Rugby, who's coming in, should make use of him to get into the national slots in the future.
Absolutely, very good point. And let's have a look at some key players in this game. We know how good Royals Dilshan and Tulip Basan has been, so as their Himanta Hirushan, who's a very mobile prop forward. We can see the referees just walking in. It's a 4 p.m. kickoff, and I'm sure both the teams need to stop warm-ups, and they need to go and get changed, because we're just 2 minutes away. You can see Manil Karuberu, the skipper, playing at that center position, and then Ravindu Anjula, second row, and also he's handy at the number 8, and then fullback Ashan Gunasekara. The key players will be coming into count, and Dilshan and Himanta Hirushan, the number 8, sometimes he plays as a tight head prop as well, and the flank Malisha Madhumewan has been one of the silent work hero. We see how brutal he is in that breakdown positions, and also brilliant in doing that turnovers. Let's have a look at the team cards. The home team, Isipathana, Warnapula, Atakorala, Kushan Ranavira in the front row, Chamod Sandakan and Kavinda Kaushal in the lock combination, Sarah Singer, Nilamuddin and Anjana as the loose forwards for the Green Machine, and also in the halfback combination. And in the center combination, Stefan and Manil Karuberu, the skipper, and Manjula. I'm afraid I'm not having a clear vision of this team cards, Abdullah. Silva and Supun as the full-back for Isipathana College, and we had the replacements for them.
Yes, I think that Isipathana three-quarter line will need to pull out something special today. The underground conditions are not going to be easy for them to do that. Also, a lot will depend on what kind of quality ball the Isipathana pack will be able to provide the backs to actually do their thing. But I think they will definitely be up for today's game. Very proud school with a very proud rugby history, and this is one of their big games for the season, so they'll definitely want to try and retain the trophy which they won last year.
And let's have a look at the Royal team card. At the front row we have Himanta Hirushan, Ifam Farid and Sasita Siat, Fadil Adan and Radisha Vijay Ratna in the lock combination, Bhanuka Samarnayaka and Malisha Madhumewan, Risit Fernandez joining as the number 8 for Royals loose forward Mubin Falil. Not sure whether he's the brother of Mushin Falil. And he's combining in that halfback combination with Kalindu Nandila, Sabit Ferrer, the skipper, in the left wing, Tulay Basan and Janu Dilshan in the centre, Pasindu Fernando in the right wing, and Dulan Gunawardana as the fullback. And also the replacement or the finishers, Jaya Induvara and Jai Surya, Samadhi Induvara, Avin George, Nikhil De Silva, Lehan Gunatilaka, Malisha Pereira, Yasis Rashmik and Migara Mishankar.
Yes, so that's the Royal lineup. I think a lot will depend on guys like Fadil Adan and Malisha Maduran to try and get them going today. Their experience is going to be crucial in today's game. In these conditions, how they get the best out of the pack, how they execute the plans. I think possession is going to be key, and if they can control possession and starve Isipathana of it, then I think it'll go a long way in them to try and win this game. But Isipathana, on the other hand, I think they will try and play the ball a bit away from the Royal pack as much as possible. They will try and avoid trying to get into too much of a physical confrontation kind of a game, because one thing I'm not sure whether they will have the physical stature to compete with Royal up front, and on the other hand I think their strength very much lies outside. And here now people the
match officials for today: Rohan Fernando, the man in charge in the middle, and Wairanga and Jeffrey Shahid will assist. And we also have the television match official, TMO Tony Amit. And we'll see how many editions will Fernando go into the television. And all sorted, but just waiting. Maybe the referee just checking the final checklist. Maybe the security. I'm sure Isipathana have done quite well, Abdullah, bringing all those former players to protect anyone coming into the field.
Yes, I think Isipathana organizing committee has made elaborate arrangements to ensure the game goes off smoothly, and a lot of credit to them. They have used some of their former players, as you have mentioned, to assist in the security arrangements. So hopefully the spectators will also enjoy a good game of rugby, because that's, at the end of the day, that's all what we need. And if we can enjoy a good game without any interruptions, I think it'll go a long way, which unfortunately has marred this league season a little bit. So let's just hope for rugby's sake that this game goes off well, and may the best team win.
That's right, may the best team win. And we are not sure whether Isipathana attacking from right to left or not. We'll wait as the referee still discuss from the organizing committee. And here comes the home team off your screens. Isipathana, Manilka Ruberu leading from the front, the centre three-quarter. And he don't have a luxurious name like before in the Isipathana lineup. And last year before, and Sinal Dilaka's year, where Isipathana became triple champions. They did have a sensational run in 2014. And they have made some players to the national system, more than anyone in this country. Isipathana with their huddle and some prayers in the middle. Idirivira, the replacement hooker with the number 16. He'll be useful, especially in this weather condition. All the hookers will feel it difficult. So Isipathana looks like they're going to attack from right to left, but before that looks like we have a team introduction. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Dilroy Fernando will be the chief guest.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not sure who will represent the family. It should be Dilroy who represents. We see the league leaders and the champions, unbeaten Royal, on the field, making their way onto the centre of the pitch to perform the formalities of the chief guest being introduced to the team. And coming back to yes, Isipathana has organised it very well, with the old boys taking charge of it, and some of the recent old boys too. And of course the old boys have grown in stature. They have grown in height, side base. and and they're doing a good job there. I think nobody wants to come and mess around with them when you go sideways.
Well, most of the players, I think they've employed are players who are currently playing club rugby, so don't think they've grown sideways too much, but probably grown a bit taller and a bit broader. But I think that's a great initiative, because it's not just in terms of intimidating the crowd. I think a lot of the spectators will yet have a lot of respect for those players, and they'll be able to listen to them. So I think it's a very good idea by Isipathana, and let's just hope that, as we mentioned earlier, that this game will go off smoothly, because I think school rugby needs that after what happened, especially a couple of weeks ago. And I think both teams are lining up, so waiting to be introduced to the chief guest.
I believe time for the full form as well.
So it's time for the school anthems. Maybe after the introduction. Well, still the team introduction. We thought it's going to be the school anthems, but perhaps after the introduction, Abdullah. And in the meantime, we know that World Rugby 7 Series, after 2 weeks break, it's back in London. Fiji are the top runners, just 2 points ahead of South Africa.
Yes, and also there's a bit of a local rugby in the Sevens setup going on as well. The first leg of the Dialogue Club Rugby Sevens is going on as well. So a very busy week for everyone as we get ready for the school song of both teams.
We just found out that chief guest Mr. Selvin Sally, former Isipathana captain. And here we go with the school anthems.
Isipathana College, Colombo.
That's the anthem of both the schools, and here comes the huge cheer by both the spectators and of course the home team. Some colorful green flags. So Isipathana will attack from right to left on your screens, and both the teams once again with another huddle. How much impact it'll have, Abdullah, after warming up and waiting for like 10 minutes for the introduction and the anthems?
Especially considering the overhead conditions, I think it may not help. If it was a sunny, hot day, then may not be too bad. But having said that, I think a lot of adrenaline will be pumping through the players' veins, and they'll be ready for it. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue.
So Royal will receive the kickoff. It's going to be skipper Manil Karuberu to lead from the front.
Captain Yellow! Captain, are ready?
And referee Fernando just checking whether everything's okay just before the kickoff. So here we go. This is Single Schools Rugby League 2018, and Isipathana with the kickoff, sending it deep inside the 22. Well collected.
One step back, green.
Straight away into contact. Royal trying to use one more pace inside the red zone. You can see how muddy and soggy. Still it's raining here at the Havelock Park.
Knock back, play on.
And that's a slight fumble. And that's a poor pass once again. However, Isipathana fullback makes the rescue part. It was Sene Ratna. Straight away into the danger man, Dilshan. And not playing selfish. Lovely draw and pass to the supportive
Step back.
player. Looks like Dulan Gunawardana, who went into contact. So Royal regain position.
Number 12 offside. Again advantage.
Yes, the referee has his hand out for an offside infringement. So good start by Royal. And a wonderful pace kick. And it's collected beautifully.
Great work by Sabit Feroz, the skipper. Saw the open space. No sweeper on that occasion. And Royal once again on the charge. This is good rugby, Abdullah, from there inside 22. And here comes once again Dilshan. Running lateral and lovely step and pass. Good defense coming by Isipathana. And this could be their first line out of the game, but it was so far so good start for Royal.
Yes, again, wonderful vision by The scrum of Mubin Falil just identifying the space for skipper Sabit to chase on. So that's the kind of tactics which we were talking earlier. As you have a look at that replay, and you come into the side, passing to Fernando, just being bundled into touch by some good cover defense by Isipathana, but overall a very, very good start by Royal.
Good. Ball.
So it's going to be the first line out. Royal putting so much pressure to Isipathana that just trying to come out of jail. It's not a good kick, straight into the Dilshan's hand. Good tackle coming in. We're going to see plenty of tackles coming. And big number one of Royal College, that's Sasita Siat. Tight head prop going into contact. Once again, Royal opting to go to that shorter side. Not enough numerical advantage in that side though. Yet another pick and go. Here's a big man, Himanta Hirushan. Pick and go this time. And this is where Royal will be so dangerous, but it was stolen illegally, says referee Ferdinando.
Number 19. Number 19, come inside.
And they have scored a try with immediate effect. Smart thinking. Skipper Sabit Feroz, the one who scored that try. And that try came from nowhere, Abdullah.
Yes, again, much better intensity shown by the Royal forwards. I thought they went into the breakdowns with numbers. The clearing out was very aggressive, and they constantly had Isipathana on the back foot. And again, some good thinking by Royal to take that quick tap. It was Mubin Falil actually who took the quick tap, so identified the gap and went over. So just the start which Royal wanted, and Isipathana will need to just try and pick themselves up from that lapse, because I thought they were constantly being pushed onto the back foot. I think they need to be much more aggressive when it comes to the contact area.
So Royal with 5 points to nil with the conversion to come. Dulan Gunawardana with a much difficult angle. And he has the distance, and that is just short, maybe inches shots from that side bar. However, Royal will take that. 5 points to nil, and Isipathana will take the restart. But early on, we saw some errors coming from Isipathana, some wayward passes and few knock-ons in the opposite territory. They just could not hang on to that position, Abdullah.
Yes, I think they'll need to be a bit more tight in terms of how they plan to execute, because if they're going to be a bit loose, I think Royal have the experience to just pounce on whatever mistakes that Isipathana commit.
And that's a wonderful touch finder by Royal number 10, Kalin the Nandila.
Yellow, your mark.
Just into that 10-meter mark.
Your mark, please. Come, goes.
We're into the 6th minute, and mind you, it's only 35 minutes a half. Unlike last year, we played 40 minutes a half, so it's going to be a 70 minutes full time. And Isipathana with their second line out. So far, so good in terms of their line out. And here comes their driving maul, trying to give some own medicine as a Royal trying to turn over. But Isipathana hooker, Athukorala managed to keep the ball with Isipathana, and that was called mark. So it's going to be a tap start in that 22. Great collection in the air.
Yes, good work by Pasindo. I think it's very important how the back three of both teams support each other in these conditions. You probably find teams trying to kick a lot, so in terms of how they support the fullback is going to be very crucial. And a wonderful bit of thinking by Janindu, just identifying the space, and he's pushed Isipathana into their own half. Lack of concentration by Isipathana. The wing three-quarter was up, not getting ready for the kick. Those are the little mistakes that Isipathana can't afford to do.
That's simple thinking, playing smart, and weather also helped in terms of that kicking game, but that was a lovely, well-placed kick to gain some territorial advantage for Royal. Isipathana now with the third line out, Athukorala. Clever move this time, but it's not finding... Oh, well, it's not straight, says referee Fernando.
What do you want?
Close call.
Yes, I think it was not 5 as well. It's a bit surprising why Isipathana decided to go to number 1, because both their 2 previous lineouts, they won it comfortably. Just deciding to change things, not exactly sure why, but unfortunately for them, that tactic just not working. So looks like referee Fernando just having a word with both skippers earlier on, just trying to lay down the law. Probably telling both captains to tell the players to let him do his job and not referee the game as well.
Referee Fernando just giving some instruction for both the captains Sabit Feroz and Manil Karuberu.
I'm sure, Chang, in your day you would have had to dish out many a warning to players as well with your time in the middle and with the whistle.
Many times, yeah, I had to discipline some of the boys. But having said that, I enjoyed it very much in the park because they took it up in the correct spirit, as they always do.
And that's a good break once again. Not a complete tackle, but here's Falil sending out wide. Here's Royal with their skipper. Sabit Feroz trying to make few meters.
Step back, step back.
Falil once again giving it to short side. Royal marching forward. Again Sasida Siat going into contact, big forward he is, and Falil once again sending out wide. Good rush defense by Manil Karuberu on his opposite number, Tuleib Hassan. And Royal driven backwards now. Another good tackle coming in on Gunawardana.
Step back.
So Isipathana.
No, nothing wrong.
Referee Fernando says nothing wrong. Clearly so. Play on. It's a loose ball and Isipathana trying to counter. Royal did well to keep possession.
Get back, number 17, Green.
And they were driven back from the 22. Another pick and go this time.
Number 19.
By Ifam Farid. And Royal conceding a penalty. Holding on. We saw that this happened against Zaira game. Abdullah Zaira stole, in fact, steal 6 of breakdown penalties.
Number 19.
Yeah, that's right. I thought they were much better in that area against Wesley, but I think they will need to just be a bit more accurate in how they get numbers into the breakdown, because the Isipathana do seem to have some good poachers. So they do all the hard work, and then in one ruck you just don't find the numbers, and the opposition comes and steals the ball or draws the penalty. It can be very frustrating.
Isipathana gaining that territorial advantage.
Yellow, you mark here. You mark green. Green, you mark.
So it's going to be another line out. 1-2 line outs. And that's a knock forward, says referee. And also all the ThePapare stats. You can get all the stats update of the school's rugby. Who scored the try, who kicked the conversion. Stats.thepapare.com. Log into your number 1 sports hub to get the information. And Royal attacking from their base. Advantage over, says referee Fernando. Dilshan on the march. Good tackle by a much smaller man. Isipathana's left wing. Passing to Fernando on that occasion. Falil once again giving it to the big forward Farid. Pick and go by the dangerous Himanta Hirushan.
Step back. No, fighting.
Once again going for that shorter side. It was 2 versus 3 in favor of Isipathana.
Step back.
Yet again Royal confident going into that shorter side and providing depth in that into their right, in fact.
Roll away.
Tackler need to roll away. Rightly so. Once again Mubin Falil. Inside pass to Sabit Feroz. That's a lovely work by Royal. And play on, says referee. And it's going to be a try. Is it? Oh, just quite unfortunate. Brilliant piece of work by Royal fly. Kalindu Nandila giving that inside pass. And Sabit Feroz made that yards and put the kick into that open space. Here's that replay. In fact, it was a knock-on early on, but referee Fernando missed it.
Actually, I think he judged that it went off his leg, Sabir. So good on him not playing to the gallery, deciding to let it go. He knew he had the benefit of the TMO as well, and he could have always gone back to him in the event a try was scored. But overall, I think no damage done. Ball to Isipathana. It's important that they clear their lines. I'd like to see the Royal 8 putting a bit of pressure on this Isipathana scrum. I do understand it's just the 1.5 meters that they can drive, but even that 1.5 meters, you put that pressure, it's very difficult for the kicker to set himself up.
And that's some good pressure by Royal. Angela under pressure. Isipathana number 8. Can they claim the ball? Royal turned over. Pick and go. Just inches short for the second try. Can they score? If they score on the padding, it's a try, but it doesn't matter. And the try scorer looks like Sasita Siat.
Again, wonderful pressure. We were just talking about putting some pressure on the scrum, and that's exactly what Royal did. Managed to get that turnover, and then Royal forwards do what they do best, attacking the fringes. And Isipathana just do not have the physical ability to control Royal from that kind of distance. And Royal just scoring their second try, and with the conversion to come, it's 10 points to nil. So Royal forwards have definitely upped their game from the performance of the last couple of games. They have definitely come to the party today, and I think Isipathana forwards will definitely have their work cut out today.
Dulan Gunawardena with a conversion. And this time he makes no mistakes, so it's 12 points to nil in favor of the visiting team. I'm sure so much running inside Isipathana coaching camp and also among the players. Certainly they had some chances inside their opposite half, but just could not hold on to position. Royal are dangerous in their counter-attack, but when it comes especially into the opposite 22, they don't come without a point.
Yes, I think Isipathana just need to try and get possession and control it over a period of time. I think so far they have turned possession over, and from that kind of situation, Royal is always very dangerous.
Once again, that deep kick, Angela just makes a fumble, but Isipathana managed to keep position, and that's almost interception into Royal hands. Well. Scrum half Kalhara just giving a long pass.
So I think Isipathana need to be a bit careful. I do understand that they like to counter-attack, but they've got to pay a bit more respect to the conditions as well. It's not the kind of conditions where you want to throw the ball, make those long loopy passes. As we have a look at that replay, long pass, the Royal defense was up, and fortunately for Isipathana that the Royal just knocked the ball on. So Isipathana just need to tighten things up a bit.
Kalhara to feed the scrum, and Angela at the back of the scrum, going to his right. Good defense once again by Malisha Madhumewan. Royal flanker. Isipathana still with position, and Kalhara opting to put the box kick. Collected by Dulan. He puts the kick back. And Praveen Stefan, the youngster, and he was well tackled by Janit Dilshan. You can't see the Royal numbers, as you can see clearly. The mud. And unfortunately knocks it on, so Isipathana still have some chance to come out of jail territory.
Yes, now that was very smart by Royal. They got position in their own half. Dulan identified the space, kicked the ball, and wonderful chase putting the Isipathana defense under pressure. So that's the kind of tactical notes that the teams need to execute and pay a bit more heed to the conditions as well.
That's right, that's completely a mismatch between Dilshan and Stefan of Isipathana, and Isipathana with a scrum just on the 22. Kalhara and giving it to Silva. Silva couldn't find touch, and that's a tackle in the air. Clearly Royal player was looking the Isipathana winger, and we'll see. It'll be interesting if we can have a look at a replay. We'll see what referee Fernando has to say.
No, wait. Captain? Let's get back, please.
Will he go for a TM audition on foul play? Here's that kick. And that cross kick. And that's a clear. He's marking the player. Referee Fernando asking assistant Vairanga
Number 10.
on that tackle.
I think no, it's a danger. I think penalty only and discussing. Yeah, thank you. Number 10.
I think referee Fernando is going to just penalty only, but I don't agree with that decision, Abdullah.
Yes, it was reckless more than anything else, and I think Royal probably consider themselves a bit lucky if they had got away with it, but I think eventually the correct decision has been made. It was very reckless. He definitely went for the man, did not have any eyes on the ball, and Royal for the next 10 minutes will be down to 14 players, and it's up to Isipathana to capitalize on that.
Finally, Rehan Fernando making the correct decision. SW Chang so far, it's in favor of Royal, leading 12 points to nil, and it's all up for a grab.
Yeah, absolutely. That kick, not only that, he was plumb offside. He was offside, and then he went in and made the error of getting the man in the air. To me, he's lucky to be on the pitch. He should be having an early shower.
So an opportunity for Isipathana to get into Royals 22 and launch an attack. A wonderful kick by Silva to get into Royals 22.
Here's that replay, Abdullah, and that's the kick coming in. And the player, you can see. But that's a clever piece of work by Isipathana's R.D. Silva, who's in that right wing position. Last minute he managed to claim that catch with a jump. And Isipathana now with the numerical advantage. We are into the 17th minute. Can they score a try? Good pressure coming by Royal on the breakdown, taking so long.
No. Sit back.
Again, almost another turnover. Isipathana just trying to get some help from their forwards, looking for another pick and go. I'm sure this won't help them much. That's much better running. A little lateral by the Isipathana hooker Atakorala, but Royal on the counter this time. Lovely offload to Janid Dilshan. Dilshan cuts inside, fends Atakorala and goes down. Here's Falil giving it to Hirushan. Royal still with position, with a man down. Falil this time opting to put that box kick, and his Isipathana fullback. That's a good collection, and is it out on the full? Well, it just bounces inside the field. So pretty decent kick by Isipathana fullback Senavi Ratna.
Yes, probably Mubin would have done well to try and get a bit more height on that kick rather than going for distance. Just did not give his chasers enough time to put pressure on the Isipathana fullback, but nonetheless a very good counter kick and finding touch. So Royal, I believe this would be their first own throw in this match. I'm sure the rolling maul will come into play in this game, considering the conditions and also the fact that it's a very important part of Royal's attacking play.
Ifam Farid with the throw-in. And that's collected by Royal and Dilshan. He's got a big boot, but this time it is claimed once again by Senavi Ratna. Well, he looks a nippy candy. So playing with so much courage. Early on he just made a lovely kick into touch, and once again it's Adan putting the kick And Isipathana skipper Manilka Ruberu, and this time he kicks out on the full. So it's going to be a line out from where he kicked. Again, another chance. Isipathana just giving away position. They just need to keep the ball in hand, isn't it, Abdullah?
Yes, but I also like the way Royal are playing the game in their own half. They're not taking any chances. They're going for territory. They're kicking the ball. And I think they're playing it a bit smart in that aspect.
Farid with another throw. Claimed well by Royal. Falil sending out wide. Tuleb Hassan into contact. Good defense coming in. Falil once again sending to his left. Royal on the march. Almost another turnover. We saw early on Isipathana did so well in that breakdown. Royal are not shy of going into that shorter side, even they don't have that numerical advantage in the shorter side. Another pick and go. Falil just marshalling his forwards and backs. Nandila giving it to Tuleb Hassan. And here's Dilshan. Another good kick. Sene Ratna with the ball. Puts another kick. A bit of kicking contest. You can't complain more. And Dilshan once again with the kick, and scrum half Kalhara finally finds touch, so it's going to be Royal attacker.
Yes, again, I think they're using Dilshan very well for him to drop back and receive those kicks, because he can do two things. He can either run with the ball, he's very strong, he can stay on his feet until the forwards come back and support him, and also he just seems to have the sense to find space at the back wherever Isipathana defense is not there, and that's just putting Isipathana under a lot of pressure.
And Royal with yet another line out. Fadil Adan claims it. Isipathana not allowing Royal to settle down, but this is what Royal does so well. Will there be a penalty advantage coming in favor of the gold? That's one says referee. So Royal need to send this out. Pick can go by Ifam Farid. Looks like a turnover. Well, interestingly, it's holding on, says referee. So it's the second time Abdullah.
Yes, that's right. The thing when you do the driving maul, and then when the referee says, gives the first warning, and then he says play it the next time, you have all your players committed to the maul. So if there's a break by one of the forwards at the back, he just doesn't have supporting players. And I think on that occasion, Royal were found wanting. But I think I'd like to see Royal from those situations bringing their two big centres into play a bit more, trying to get them to try and bridge this Isipathana in centre field. As we have a look at that replay, some good work at the breakdown by Isipathana's Sandurwan on that occasion, just going over, identifying the opportunity and taking it.
Get your brand recognized, advertise with ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub. All you have to do is call the number on your screen, or you can also email info@thepapare.com. And once again, another short line out. And all of a sudden,
Step back. Number 3.
Isipathana claiming the ball once again. Well, it was not a tackle, so he can move few more. Kalhara with the box kick. Here comes Royal with the counter. Sabit Feroz in the middle, and lovely break by Sabit Feroz. And that's a bit high. Don't think that's much cynical, but Royal still with possession, storming into the Isipathana half. Here's Falil looking for direction, sending it to his left. There's more numbers out wide, and unfortunately a knock on by Royal players, so referee will come for that high tackle infringement.
Number 25, high tackle. Number 25.
And here's that replay. Lovely break by Sabit Feroz. That's the seat belt tackle by Isipathana Seniratne on Royal skipper. Rightly so. So far, Rohan Fernando has done a good job, Abdullah.
Yeah, that's right. Not easy conditions to referee a game, but I think he's stamped his authority earlier on, speaking to both captains, communicating to them very clearly what he wants from the rest of the players. I think without a shadow of doubt, he's probably the #1 referee in the country today. Very experienced campaigner, a former Air Force player as well. And so far he's done an excellent job.
This time once again a lovely line out collection, but not straight was the call.
No straight. No straight. Yeah.
So Royal, the yellow card player, has come back inside, so it's going to be all even 15.
Bind! Be bind. Set! Steady!
Unfortunately, Isipathana just could not have that numerical advantage.
Hold, hold.
Kalhara gives it to Anjana, but he doesn't find touch. Good chase coming in.
Play on! Quick line out.
But the rescue play on. Clever work by Royal. It was Pasindu Fernando sending it out wide, and skipper Sabit Feroz with a lovely step and a lovely supportive run by Adnan. Royal into the 5-meter mark. The big run by Siat, who scored the first try. Lovely work. Almost a turnover. Well, holding on, says referee. It looks a bit harsh. Would be lovely to see a replay. SW Stang says it's a perfect decision. We'll see whether we can get a replay, but Royal.
Yes, Royal showing some good enterprise, taking a good quick throw. So they seem intent on trying and upping the pace of this game. Isipathana so far on the back foot and under a lot of pressure. But again, Royal just being found wanting at the breakdown, just not getting the numbers there. Players need to be a bit more alert because they know what Royal likes to do. We'll have a look at that replay once again. Chang, your
Mark
views?
here. Your mark here. Green number 22.
There you are. He was on his feet to pick the ball up, and he was deprived. And there was no ruck formed, quite rightly. And the referee made the correct call.
Brilliant work by Isipathana's tackle assist.
Hold. Wait. 22 off.
So Isipathana still struggling to come into opposite half. The time is ticking. Just about another 8 minutes or so remaining for the first half. Royal with 2 scores. One for skipper Sabit Feroz and one for the tight-head prop Sasida Siat. And this time Isipathana managed to claim that line out, and they are driving. Made some good yards, 6 to 7 meters maybe. Again a breakdown encounter. This time it was stolen by Royal. You can see the condition out there as we bring the live pictures from Havelock Park. And once again Falil sending it another inside pass to Sabit Feroz. That's been their plan so far. It's the third time that he made that impact, and Gunawardana straight away going into contact.
No.
And Royal support just storms in numbers.
Rock, stay back.
Turnover, Isipathana, Kalhara giving it to Isipathana's Ardri Silva, who puts that kick. Royal once again on the attack. Good run by the ball carrier, that's Ratnayaka. This is where all are so dangerous. They have the option to attack to right and left, and skipper Sabit Feroz once again making that lovely break, and here comes the third try for Royal College, and that's Tuleib Hassan. You're talking about Tuleib Hassan, Abdullah. You said that Royal need to get both the centres into action, but credit should be given to the skipper.
Yes, a wonderful run by Sabit Feroz initially, running from that wonderful inside angle, and on this occasion drawing the last man and getting the ball out. And when Tuleib Hassan gets going from that kind of distance, it's very, very hard to stop him, and Royal go over for their third try. So Royal executing much better even in these muddy conditions, showing all their experience, showing all the guile that they have got, and Isipathana so far have struggled to keep up with them.
Wonderful, wonderful work by Royal. 17 points to nil with the conversion to come. Sabit Feroz so far is leading from the front. Made some lovely yards and lovely offloads. A lovely inside running angle. Great communication and awareness by Royal. Clearly playing a different game plan in this underfoot conditions. Gunawardana made 2 out of 1, and it's once again just falling short, so it remains as 3 out of 1 successful conversion, and the score remains 17 points to nil. Royal still have some chance there. I'm sure they will be eyeing for that bonus point with the 4 tries just before the half time. 5 minutes remaining. It's still a plenty of time, Abdullah.
Yes, definitely is. And at the beginning of the game, we were talking about the physicality, and so far Isipathana I think have struggled to compete in that, and Royal have been also a bit more clinical in how they have executed with ball in hand, and I think Isipathana have faltered on a few occasions.
Here's the try scorer straight away, immediate impact with that carry. Another thumping kick by Janid Dilshan. Kalhara looking for space. That's a sensible kick, but unfortunately it doesn't find touch. And Royal charge coming in. Kalhara will be under pressure as he knocks it on. Very good collection by Royal. Here they come storming in. Good carry once again by Sabit Feroz. Here comes the numbers. Siat once again pick and go. And it was Farid this time. Mubin Falil giving it to Himanta Hirushan. Isipathana don't have enough numbers in their line. And Tuleib Hassan, the try scorer, looking for that offload option, but he just went into the ground, and Dulan Gunawardana with a hit. Good tackle coming this time by the Isipathana player. Falil once again giving it to Adan. Royal just trying to be a little bit patient and opt to few more faces, but unfortunately again another breakdown, conceding a penalty. Hands on the deck, says referee Fernando Abdullah.
He can pick the ball. Hey, on your feet.
In fact, not releasing. And Manil Karubero, well, it's another cardinal error. He couldn't find touch on that penalty. And Royal taking that advantage. Falil giving it to Hirushan. Good carry by Hirushan. Another pick and go. Both the loose side and the tight head proper playing so well in this condition, and they are so mobile players. And Sabit Feroz once again coming into that center, giving it to Dilshan, and Dilshan has his scored. Looks like the referee won't have a word with his assistant. But interesting play. Sabit Feroz supposed to start in that wing, Abdullah, but he was moved into center position and allowing Dilshan to go to that out wide position.
Yes, I think they're using him on the outside angles because of their ability to try and use their bulk and the physicality to just outflank the Isipathana defense. So far it worked in that previous occasion with Tuleb Hassan. Interesting to see what the judgment would be from this situation.
Is it try, yes or no?
So referee Fernando wants to ask from Mr. Tony Ahmed, is it try, yes or no?
Oh, Madaka. I don't know anything. Madaka grounded.
And here's that incident. Sabit Feroz with the pass and Dilshan in that corner. Good friend. Well, is he tackled? Does he need to release the ball? Oh, where's the ball? Has he scored the try? It's not visible in this frame, Abdullah.
Interesting to see what the soft call is, the on-field call, isn't it, Chang? I think they're supposed to mention what the call would be from an on-field point of view.
Yeah, I would like to see the first frame, that frame. Was he held? Did you release the ball there? That's the question that you ask. And then come on to the next frame. To me, in that frame, he did not. He was held and he should have not released the ball.
I awarded try. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Madaka grounded කියලා මම දැක්ක grounded කියලා. අපි දෙන්නගේ එක තියෙනවා. එයාට පේන්නේ නැහැ කියලා තියෙන අපි try එකට යනවා. Time on. Is it try?
Well, that's the fourth try. That's a bonus point try for Royal College, the defending champions.
ඔයා කැමති දුරක් ගන්න පුතා.
Agree with that call, Abdullah?
Yeah, well, on first instance, as Chang mentioned, the only question I guess would be is, was he held and was he off his feet when he was held? So he needed to release the ball. But I guess the TMO and the touch judge deciding otherwise. So the try stands.
Gunawardana with the conversion.
To add the two points for the Royal that try, Gunawardana has been sensational this afternoon, you know, with the wet condition, with the kicks coming on top as he, and it's conditions are not good for place kicking. I think we are approaching half time. As we approach half time, Royal leading by 22 points to nothing. Surprising score. Isipathana has not gone into their Royal half much, and with so much possession and territory advantage, Royal should have had more points on the board. Unfortunately, they were 14 men down, and that may have stopped their machine a bit.
Yes, indeed. So 22 points to nil in favor of the defending champions, Royal College, and it's going to be lots of work to do for Lacinda Di Costa and his green machines. There should be a lot of talk coming in at the halftime break. And we'll get to the halftime highlights. As you can see, 22 points to nil. Royal scoring 4 tries, 1 for Dilshan, 1 for Sasida Siat and 1 for Sabit Feroz, the skipper who scored the first try. And Tuleb Hassan scoring another. That's how the 4 tries came, and we'll see some first half highlights coming in. This is how it happened. Taken it quickly, clever thinking. Isipathana didn't have much time to react after conceding that 5-meter penalty. And Sasita Siat with a pick and go. The big man scores the try. And then skipper Sabit Feroz made some valuable yards and lovely offload to Taleb Hassan, the big centre. He said thank you very much, scoring the try. And just before that, this is the final try, Dilshan, which went to the television match official. And here you can see assistant referee Shahid Jeffrey also pretty close. It was eventually awarded as a try. That's how the 4 tries came for the Royal team, and we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with the second half action. Stay tuned on your number one sports, www.thepapare.com.
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සනසුමදන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මුළු පවුලට සතුට සදන සිඟ අද විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය.
Isn't it time to grow up? Now you can with current accounts from DFCC Bank. DFCC Bank. Keep growing.
Some see a myriad of possibilities ready to break out in glory. The choice of every Sri Lankan. No limit.
පිරිසිදු ෆ්‍රෙෂ් හිසක් තියෙන පිරිමි ශක්තිමත්. ඒත් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි වලට පුළුවන් ඒ ශක්තිය නැති කරන්න මම ක්ලියර් මෙන් තෝරගන්නේ ඒ නිසයි. ක්ලියර් මෙන් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි zero කරන නැවුම් මෙන්තෝල් වලින් සමන්විත නිසා මගේ හිස කෙස් හැම විටම ෆ්‍රෙෂ්. ඒ වගේම ඉස්සොරි වලින් නිදහස්. ක්ලියර් මෙන් ඉස්සොරි zero කරයි. ලෝවාංක 1 මෙන්ස් ෂැම්පූ.
Let's start a life-changing partnership. Union Assurance.
Isn't it time to grow up? Now you can with home loans, education loans and vehicle loans from DFCC Bank. DFCC Bank. Keep growing.
Let's start a life-changing partnership. Union Assurance.
Energetic and daring, some see the world in vibrant shades. The choice of every Sri Lankan. No limit.
පිරිසිදු ෆ්‍රෙෂ් හිසක් තියෙන පිරිමි ශක්තිමත්. ඒත් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි වලට පුළුවන් ඒ ශක්තිය නැති කරන්න මම ක්ලියර් මෙන් තෝරගන්නේ ඒ නිසයි. ක්ලියර් මෙන් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි zero කරන නැවුම් මෙන්තෝල් වලින් සමන්විත නිසා මගේ හිස කෙස් හැම විටම ෆ්‍රෙෂ්. ඒ වගේම ඉස්සොරි වලින් නිදහස්. ක්ලියර් මෙන් ඉස්සොරි zero කරයි. ලෝවාංක 1 මෙන්ස් ෂැම්පූ.
සතුට බෙදන නම
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සනසුමදන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
එය සිංහ නම
සතුට සදන සිඟ අති විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය.
Technique, tactics, attack, defense, pattern. Back to the board, the rugby analysis.
We don't make this stuff up here. You're watching the best researched in-depth analysis on schools rugby 2018. You're on ThePapare.com. Welcome to the breakdown.
papare.com කරපු සංකල්පය ලංකාවේ ක්‍රීඩක ක්‍රීඩිකාවන්ට ඉතාම ධෛර්යයක්. ඔවුන්ගේ අදහස් ක්‍රීඩා තොරතුරු ඊට අමතරව ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයෙක් වශයෙන් මට ආඩම්බර විය හැකි මේ අලුත් සංකල්ප ක්‍රීඩා ලෝකයට ගෙනීම ගැන මම ඇත්තටම papare.com එකට ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
Welcome back to Havelock Park. This is Single Schools Rugby League 2018 and we are bringing live pictures and it's a wet and muddy field as you can see on your screens. Visiting team Royal leading 22-0 in this major Milroy Fernando Trophy game, and quite interestingly Isipathana still unable to trouble the scoreboard. Joining me in the commentary, Abdullah Yusuf, former Royal captain, and also SW Chang. SW Chang, firstly, what do you think would be the message from Racinta Di Costa?
I'm not sure about that. What the message is? The message should be to defend. That's the key word that should go into see and defend and frustrate Royal from having possession. And once you gain possession, to keep it with them and not to aimlessly kick the ball and give possession away, because Royal loves that ball and especially they love the lineouts.
That's right, Chang. And also I think another area which I thought Royal probably outplayed Isipathana was in the kicking game. Whenever they kicked, they managed to find space and put Isipathana under a lot of pressure. While Isipathana, whenever they kicked, they couldn't get much distance and the ball always went right into a Royal player's hand and enabled them to counter-attack. So I thought that's another area where Royal played it very smart, and one of the key reasons why they find themselves in the situation they are now. Isipathana, as you very said, the defense will be a key part, but also position, because there's a limit to which they'll be able to defend this Royal pack if they continue to turn possession over.
I always believe when you have wet condition, people have this myth about saying it's a forwards game, it's a forwards battle, but I don't think it's a forwards battle of wet condition. They find it difficult for forwards to get from one point to another. I think it's going to be a short passes and short distance running and closely supported game. It can be threes and forwards together. And having said that, coming back to your kicking game, I think Dulan has played a very vital role silently and made the impact by returning those kicks very strongly.
Well, here's the restart. Janita Dilshan putting it to deep 22. Collected by Isipathana. Sarah Singh straight away into contact. And that's a fumble by Senevi Ratna, the fullback of Isipathana College. So Royal will have that chance early on in this second half. Already been scored 4 tries.
Yes, Isipathana just need to be a bit more smarter in how they execute. In these conditions, the territorial game is as important. And if you're going to throw the ball in your own 22, you're going to put yourself under a lot of pressure. And Isipathana, from the kickoff, they have turned possession over. And a great attacking opportunity for Royal.
So the first line out in the second half. Royal fancy their chances with this driving maul.
Keep it
You
down.
can see
Keep it down.
Isipathana number 1. Navoda trying to engage through, but this is where Royal are known for, that trademark driving maul and the rolling maul. But this time, is he coming from the sideways? Referee just says play on. Interestingly, in
Number 5,
fact,
come inside. Number 5.
side entry
Number 5, come
was
inside.
number 6, Sarah Singer.
Number 5.
Surely they will fancy going into line out once again.
Yes, that's right. Isipathana got that first hit well, but I think Royal just have that ability to just wheel the line out and just catch the opposition by surprise. And now just 5 meters away, the Isipathana pack is going to have their work cut out to try and defend this line out.
So yet another line out in favor of the defending champions.
Buddha, wait. I will apugam find a I will in the right.
In the meantime, back at Sierra FC, St.
Hold,
Joseph's
hold.
leading 10 points to 5 in their trophy game over St. Peter's. And Royal line out is not straight this time, quite unfortunate. But it will be a relief for Isipathana. Probably they will opt for that scrum. An opportunity for come out of jail.
Yes, fortunately from Isipathana's point of view, the ball going a bit crooked. Not easy conditions for throwing as well.
Come boys.
Isipathana will be relieved.
Take a mark, please.
I like to see Isipathana Royal pack putting a bit of pressure on this Isipathana 8. Clearly they do have the size advantage.
Fine. Set. Steady.
In the meantime, Trinity College leading 14 points to 8 over Wesley. Back in Pallekale.
Scrum again.
Scrum again, says referee Fernando. Underfoot conditions. Certainly it's very tough, especially to those front rows. They have to be steady and square. Only 1.5 meter they can move forward.
Coach. Fine. Be behind both. Set. Steady.
Here's Kalhara to feed the scrum. Royal trying to put some pressure, but Isipathana working on the shorter side. Lovely offload, unfortunately knocks it on. So Royal will once again regain that position with this territorial advantage. Early on they had the line out drive opportunity, but the throw went not straight.
Take your mark, please.
Is that move, and the skipper Rubeiro just knocks it on. Well, you can't blame much, especially in this condition, isn't it, Abdullah?
Yes, but Isipathana seem intent on running the ball and getting themselves out of trouble, and they just seem to be getting into more trouble as a result. Just got to be a bit more smart and respect the conditions a bit more.
Be behind green. Hold.
And Falil feeds a scrum. Dilshan this time. Straight away with the contact and lovely offload, and here comes an easy try for skipper Sabit Feroz. And that's a too simple try, Abdullah.
Yes, that's exactly what we wanted them to do in that game against Wesley. Just get your big centers like Dilshan to just break that first line of defense, use the supporting players, get them into space, and over they go. It's very, very simple, and Royal just executed that brilliantly. So Royal, just the start they would have wanted in the second half, and ominous signs for Isipathana. As you can see, the Isipathana lads just falling off tackles in front of a very strong Royal three-quarter line.
And Gunawardena with the conversion, so it's 29 points to nil. Royal with 5 tries already. They scored their bonus point try in the first half, and this man has been a silent workforce, as S.W. Chang mentioned. His territorial kicks been spot on today. Early on, Royal conceded a yellow card, but even with that numerical advantage, Isipathana were unable to trouble the scoreboard. Here's the restart from the skipper Manilka Rubeiro, kicks it deep. And Punawardhana sends it back, claimed by Anjana. In fact, Kalhara. 2-on-1, lovely draw and pass. Seniratna in the far corner. Trying to find some space, good tackle coming in. He's a small guy. Still with position. In this muddy, chocolatey outfield here at Havelock Park. Kalhara, Sasiyat putting some pressure in that ruck. Some good hands coming in. Courageous run by Isipathana's number 15. Senaviratna. Kalhara once again. Giving it his left. Here's Ruberu. And Praveen Stefan joining the line. Once again, Isipathana don't have forwards to run. They're just sending right to left and left to right, trying to find that extra space in that Royals defense. And they are going backwards. We don't see them going forward. Ruberu once again. Much better defensive work by Royal. Sensible defensive work.
Yes, great discipline. They just don't rush the defense. They just hold their line, reform, be patient, and just sending Isipathana end to end. Isipathana were going nowhere. They were just not getting across the gain line, and a very well structured defense just nullified this Isipathana threat completely.
Royal actually doing what Isipathana should be doing, because Royal are just defending that Isipathana three-quarter line, moving from one point to another point, but that point is across the field, not ahead of the field.
Here we go, Royal with the line out, this time a perfect one, sending out wide by Mubin. Another thumping kick by Dilshan. Kalhara trying to do the same, but it's again collected by Dilshan and no one is there in the sweeper. Clever kick. Perfectly timed kick by Dilshan. Isipathana trying to take it quickly but no chance.
Yes, I think they've used Dilshan very well at the back. They've used him to kick, and once he kicks, he does not rush. He stays back. The fullback, Dulan, also chases with the rest of the players. And it's very intelligent bit of tactics that's putting Isipathana under a lot of pressure. As we have a look again, acres of space, no one at the back to cover that kick, and the ball goes into touch.
Atakorala with the throw in, collected nicely by Isipathana's Tuan Nilamuddin.
Number three, get back.
Isipathana trying to move forward. Good defense by Royal. Kalhara with the box, and it deflects from a Royal hand. So Royal claims position. Yet again, it's defensively testing time for Isipathana. Khalil sending out wide. Tulib Hassan straight away taking two defenders into him. Khalil once again giving it to Fadil Adan. Royal with position, and yet again another big bursting run coming through Himanta Hirushan. Switching directions once again by the halfback. Adan, draw and pass. Passing the Fernando cuts inside in the far corner. Khalil once again at that halfback, trying to put a dummy. Adan with a pick and go.
Stay back, number 19, Green.
Royal playing with so much patience. Himanta Hirushan almost isolated, but support just arrives on time. That's another powerful run by Royal player. And here comes another work. Good run. Sabit Feroz, the skipper. He was tackled, and Sasita Siat coming into action. I beg your pardon, it was Malisha Madhume on the flanker.
Roll away.
Again at the short pass forwards
Hey, no, give back.
with 110% work rate in this condition. They will certainly love this weather.
Release, one knee.
Release, says referee Fernando. Can Royal send this ball out wide? They have numbers out wide. Madhumewan assisting the ball carrier Himanta Hirushan. Again switch direction. Sabit Feroz draw 2-on-1. Another lovely offload inside and he scored. In fact, it looks like a try, Abdullah.
Definitely looks like that. Probably the referee just wants to check the sideline, but he's decided to go with the try. So wonderful bit of interpassing, wonderful handling, and Sabit Feroz gets another try. As we have a look at that again, did extremely well to stay on his feet. Inside pass, going into hand, and Sabit Feroz just had the presence of mind to place the ball over for another try.
Yeah, beautifully controlled, absolutely beautiful control. He had total control of that try, and he has the liberty to ground it. Once he's gone down, he can ground it in front, and it's a super executed try. Royal are walking, and they're getting their points on the board. Isipathana needs to quicken up their space a bit and get out of their zone and go into the Royal half without trying to get in there, because they have had position in the 22 in their red zone. They should have put position back into the Royal half.
Absolutely great awareness by the captain. Fantastic. If I'm not mistaken, that's his hat-trick, Abdullah.
Yeah, that's right. I think he's been in the thick of it today. He's come in, got himself involved much more. He's playing it slightly in the inside channels as well. A bit of an unusual role for him as the conversion goes over. So Dulan slots the conversion over. The score moves on to 36 points to nil, and ominous signs for Isipathana, because Royal just seemed to slowly and surely just grinding Isipathana down, and Isipathana just don't seem to have an answer to this onslaught by Royal so far.
Dulan Gunawardana. There comes the cheer for Royal, and it is not the expected scoreline. Sure, Isipathana fans will be disappointed. Understand that there are so many youngsters playing, so many under 16s in this Green Machines team. That's another fumble in that kickoff retention, but Royal still secures position. Good run by Farid, and how long it'll take to bring some replacements, Abdullah? All those names we mentioned, Thule Basan, Janit Dilshan, even the skipper have done quite a lot, but we know there's a lot time remaining as well. But what do you think Coach Dushant Leke would do?
Yes, I'm sure he'll have it at the back of his mind of another big match next week. But you also want to take a lot of momentum into the game, which could prove to be the finale. So things seem to be going okay, but we are yet just not yet into the final quarter. So I think maybe in the last 15 minutes or so, probably find the replacements coming in.
Don't cross the gap.
So Isipathana with the throw-in inside their own zone. That's a good work by Royal play, but it was a knock-on in fact. So Isipathana will have the scrum.
Mark here.
Quite interesting, Royal didn't concede any penalties in their own half, Abdullah. At least to
number 19.
Give some points opportunity for Isipathana.
Yes, well, it's the first time I think they've come into the Royal 22 in a while, so it's important that they try and make use of this position and just try and get some points on the board. It'll make them feel much better, because just having to throw zeros next to your name is never a pleasant task.
Hold.
And here's the opportunity, Ruberu. And the fullback joining the line, Seneri Ratna. But Royal defense once again, not panicking. Finally some momentum for Isipathana. Almost a turnover, taking some time by Kalhara. That's a long pass and not the best one for this condition. Brilliant tackle by Tuleb Hassan, marking his opposite number. And here's Kalhara to Manilka Rubeiro to the centre, and that's Ratnayaka. Inside pass, unfortunately another fumble. Isipathana, they had the momentum, unfortunate to keep that into position. Good work by referee Fernando, allowing the play happen. Play to continue, and Isipathana still with position. Almost a turnover. Yes, it is a turnover. Royal with a penalty. Holding on, says referee.
Again, wonderful defense by Royal. They just don't panic under any circumstances. They just hold their defensive line. And Isipathana just never looked like scoring from that situation because they had numbers all over. The cover defense coming in and enforcing the error. And then wonderful counter-attacking kick and a good chase.
Knock back. Don't move in. Don't move in.
So far it has been just a one-sided affair. We still have 20 minutes remaining. Follow us on all our social media platforms. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And do comment, do like our pages. ThePapare.com.
Yellow number 13.
And also you can get all the match results and analysis on our segments. Log on to www.thepapare.com. Here's Royal with another line out opportunity. Fadil Adan collected well. That's another thumping kick. And it was out on the full because the line out is outside the 22, so not reading that opportunity.
Yes, Royal also have now made a key substitution. Janindu Dilshan has been replaced. So it looked like skipper Sabit Feroz will move into the center position, and I think Rashmika will come onto the wing.
Beaten, please, yellow.
Could see probably more substitutes in the next few minutes as well. One eye on next week's big encounter with St. Peter's as well. Wonderful bit of spoiling work by Adhan, turning possession over. He's done that on numerous occasions this season for Royal.
Another good carry this time by Samara Nayaka. And Falil with the box, and this time the ball bounces and goes into touch, so that's a pretty decent kick by the Royal halfback. 36 points to nil, time is ticking. And Isipathana just had the one really good opportunity inside the opposite 22.
So I think Mubin has been outstanding for all this game as well. He was brought in probably specifically considering the conditions because Royal's regular scrum half Nikhil De Silva is on the bench today. And I think he has controlled proceedings very well as another free kick for Royal. Just hesitating with that throw and being penalized. Mubin taking the quick tap. Royal take it forward. Looking to recycle position. Using the short side. Being driven back, but they continue to control position, which is the key. Tuleb taking it forward, getting just over the gain line. They have men out wide. Royal just need to spread the ball wide. Good clearance.
Step back. Down.
Hirushan taking it in, passing it on to Royal. Tuleb once again taking the ball forward, just grinding this Isipathana defense down.
Number 5, step back.
They do have numbers out wide. Hirshan decides to take it into contact. Skipper Rubero holds on to him. Once again, inch by inch, Royal just taking it forward. Mubin putting another kick. Well collected by the Isipathana scrum half. Just needs to have numbers back. Looking for the pass, but Tuleb Hassan getting in the way. It's very hard to identify the jerseys with all the mud that the jerseys have soaked in. A good chase by Royal. Isipathana doing extremely well to control possession, and they have numbers again. Rubero will try and find space, but Royal do have numbers at the back. And it's the look to counter-attack. Good clearance by Royal. They have the numbers, they're taking it forward. Wonderful kick ahead. But very well controlled by Isipathana. Good cover defense. A really poor kick. He needed to run on the outside flank, decided to go in. As Royal have possession, they have players out wide, just need to spread it. Referee Fernando identifying that an infringement from an Isipathana player.
Come inside.
Entering on the side from the ruck is the signal.
Time out. Time off.
So looks like we'll have an injury break.
Well, Abdul, I guess that has been the summary of Isipathana's performance throughout this game. At sometimes they have showed just a little bit of promise, but then all that hard work just goes down the sink. And they were lucky there with that wayward kick. Royal just failed to capitalize on that.
Yeah, that's right. They needed to go out wide towards the left flank, but decided to go back into contact. Nonetheless, they have managed to draw another penalty. It's just that I think the physicality is being the difference between both these teams, and especially in these conditions that has just magnified, because Isipathana just haven't been able to compete with Royal up front.
Number 24.
Well, that, and I guess Isipathana's early game management didn't help that cause either, because the second try was scored because they gave away possession of that scrum inside their red zone. And Royal scored off that, and that early 2 tries just blew away Isipathana, and from there onwards they just never recovered. And Royal now with the penalty will probably just look to kick this out and go for that rolling maul. The game's all wrapped up. It's just now all about how much can they get.
Yes, as you can see, Royal ringing the replacements. Luxury to do so as we have a look at that once again. Nice step in. They got some good runners, but just unable to put the finishing touches. That occasion, Tuleb Hassan getting in the middle of that pass. So, you can see the injury toll of this encounter taking its effect on this Isipathana team. They tried valiantly, but unfortunately Royal just having a bit too much in their arsenal to be worried by this Isipathana defense. Chang, your views?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been very quiet now because comfortable 36 points to nothing by Isipathana, and then Royal kick the ball into touch and get into that familiar position that we wish to have always on the pitch, to have their line out in and their driving ball to get the forwards over the goal line. Having said that, I think Royal has just demolished completely, have gone through the Isipathana defense many a times, and Pathana needs to pick up from there, and I think the defense have to improve a lot.
It's a great attacking opportunity for Royal. Ball goes securely to the number 4 jumper. Malisha collects it, and now Royal just looking to drive. Isipathana doing well.
Number 7. Once.
Referee Fernando signals once, but Royal slowly inching away, really testing this Isipathana defense, and they get going with a bit of momentum, and it's going to be very hard for Isipathana to stop this, but referee Fernando adjudicating that the ball has been held up. Another great attacking opportunity for Royal here. Like to see them just try and drive a bit, use their 8 to try and get that 1.5 meter advantage to probably open up an opportunity for the number 8 break.
Coach! Bind! Set! Steady! Steady!
Royal now with another opportunity inside the red zone. The ball comes out. Loose pass, but still Royal with possession. It's good work at the breakdown there by the Royalists. Still once again a loose pass.
Forward pass.
If you say it's a forward pass, and Isipathana will get possession.
Yes, I'm not sure whether that was quite the correct option by Royal. I think they would have done well to try and do a number 8 break, just try and create a few more phases rather than going wide. Nonetheless, decided to take that opportunity and have turned possession over.
Right. Come closer.
So we have a look at that once again.
You come here. Number 9.
Throwing the ball wide. Pereira is fast. Adjudicated to have gone forward.
Break it up.
Abdullah, maybe Royal prefers to get the fresh jerseys a bit clean and dirty. The clean jerseys to be dirty there, and maybe that's why they're using the 3/4 in that occasion.
You come here, number 9. Coach!
Yeah, well, that would be one reason, but not sure if that's the correct option.
Steady! Number 9, yellow.
Royal getting a bit of a drive on. Isipathana a bit of pressure, deciding to run it. Ubero slinging out a pass. Royal have numbers though, falling off a few tackles.
Can work out, it'll look magnificent if it does, but it can be very dangerous. And given how the ground conditions are and how Royal has been performing, been so deadly from broken play. They need to kick this out, they do, but Royal have their players waiting for it. Here comes the Royal attack now.
Release.
They have numbers on this open side. Isipathana defense adjudicated to be offside. Referee playing advantage. It's good if Royal can make use of this. Hirushan taking the ball in. It's unable to get over the gain line. Nikhil Silva deciding to go for the box kick, but Isipathana have numbers back there. Referee Fernando will come back for that offside advantage.
Offside. Maki.
It's an opportunity for Royal to get back into the Isipathana 22 and launch another attack. It's all very subdued here at Havelock Park. Game seems very much done and dusted.
Well, Abdullah, as far as I can remember, I think this is the first time Isipathana are held to a 0-all score. They have lost quite a few games, but I don't remember a game where they have not been able to score any points at all.
Yes, I think a lot of credit to the Royal defense as well. Isipathana have had their opportunities, but the Royal defense has been good enough to just nullify that. Another driving maul by Royal. It's really testing this Isipathana defense and again forcing to be collapsed. Referee Fernando having his hand out and penalized once again. So Royal just
Number 5.
stamping their authority repeatedly against this Isipathana 8, who have really struggled in this game to compete. And Nikhil just slots it into touch. Will be another line out
You mark
for
here.
Royal, and I'm sure they'll be looking to just use that driving maul once again.
Yellow number 2 off.
Well, Royal is just sucking the life out of Isipathana right now.
Green number 5.
They're starving them
Green
of
number 5
possession.
off. 5 off.
They've been pinned inside their own 22 for virtually almost the entire of the game. Isipathana just hasn't had any answer for this onslaught from the beginning. Royal now with the throw-in. Line-out is good. They set it up for the driving maul. Isipathana holding, but Royal slowly moving forward. Referee Fernando says use it once. Royal now. And this is what they're so good at, Abdullah. You mentioned this in the game, how they twist and turn, and there you go, the try. So Royal just adding more misery on Isipathana, and I'm sure these Isipathana players will be wondering until the full-time whistle goes.
Yeah, that's right. I think they've just struggled to compete physically, and that was just another example of that. This marauding Royal driving maul. Isipathana just unable to get the numbers, and once in these especially slippery conditions, once they get a bit of momentum, it's very, very hard to stop. So Royal with that try crossed the 40-point mark. I believe this would very much be a record points tally in the history between both schools. Conversion to come by fullback Gunawardana.
The previous record was 44 points to nil by Royal, I believe. Dulan's conversion smacking against the upright. Very unfortunate there. So the score will remain 41 points to nil in favor of Royal. So Isipathana with the restart, they get things going. They look to at least score a consolation try, get some points on the board. The replacement scrum half, Johan Ratnavira sends it out to Manilka. There's Ravi Duanjana, no way to go. Manilka. Now to Duindu. Goes into contact. Here's Renuja. He's got Manilka in support. Finds him. Manilka. No way to go. Royal defense. On point. Johan now sends it out wide once again to Piu Medrivira. Goes into contact. Turnover possession. Sabit Feroz trying to wiggle his way through. They set it up. Royal will look to clear their lines. But no, referee will halt play. It's a knock forward, says referee. So Royal will get the scrum.
Yeah, that's right. Isipathana just showing a bit of flair, trying to spread the ball, but just unable to just penetrate that very tight Royal defense. I think the underground conditions also hasn't quite helped their play, but I think Royal just have been a class apart today. The execution of the defensive structure which has been put into place has been brilliant, really. They haven't conceded penalties, been extremely disciplined, and just shut out whatever attacking threat that Isipathana has posed. Jasuria breaking off the back of the scrum, going forward. And again, Royal guilty of not having numbers at the breakdown. They just need to be a bit more aware of that. Number 8 going. It would have been good if one of the centers had come to try and secure the ball. Rubero slotting the ball into touch. It's probably the closest Isipathana have come to the Royal goal line in this match. Be some consolation for them if they can get some points on the board, Hisham.
That's right, Abdullah, I think, and that just sums up how Royal has been dominant in this game, defensively when they are required to, as well as in attack. And also, Abdullah, now where do Royal go from here? I think it's the perfect response, like you said, after that 2 games against Zahira and Wesley. And now it's one more game, one final hurdle. will be against St. Peter's next week. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, we'll get back to that as Isipathana again launch another attack.
No, nothing wrong.
Royal getting back, but defensive line standing firm. But Isipathana do have some momentum. Need to try and capitalize on this. Just trying to barge over. And Royal have turned position over. But referee adjudicating that the tackler was not released. So an attacking opportunity for Isipathana, just taking the quick tap. I don't think they want to get into too many set pieces. A quick tap, passed on. And attacking opportunity for Isipathana. Slowly inching their way. See the Isipathana crowd urging their players to go over. But they have turned possession. The adjudicator to be offside, another penalty.
Oh, hold on. Time off. Bleeding.
Timeout calls referee Fernando. I think there seems to be a blood injury to one of the Royal players.
Elliot Gill remove karenge.
Yes, just getting back to your point, Hisham, about what this performance will do to Royal going into next week's encounter. It's just that momentum, isn't it? It's just that feel-good factor which was missing after those previous two performances against Zahira and Wesley. They have been outstanding today. All their systems have been in place, and I think this will give them a lot of confidence going into that final encounter. To say Isipathana taking a tap and going forward, inching their way forward. Royal defense holding firm.
No hands, yellow. Stay back. Roll away. Roll away. Stay back. Stay back.
Isipathana still grinding their way through. This is the closest they've come to the Royal goal line. Inches away from their line. But Royal, they are not here to give away that try. They're defending ferociously. And finally, that's the consolation try for Isipathana.
Yes, they have done well. That's the closest actually they came to the Royal line, and they managed to put the finishing touches. So credit to Isipathana. They have not laid down despite being 41 points down. Royal will be a tad disappointed not to have kept a clean sheet, but I think a bit of consolation for Isipathana as we have a look at that score once again. Let's try and get you who the try scorer was.
I believe it's Manoj Gautam.
Yes, so the conversion is over as well. And with that is the final whistle. So Isipathana having the final say, but overall it's been Royals' day. A wonderful performance, clinical performance by Royal as we have a look at that conversion by skipper Rubeiro. But Royal, I think, have been outstanding. There were a lot of doubters of their performance after their last 2 weeks' performance, but I think overall they've put in a masterclass today in the conditions that were put in front of them, and very muddy, wet conditions. I think they have been outstanding both defensively and offensively as well, and I think it will give them a lot of confidence going in to the Royal, to their game against St. Peter's next week.
And I believe another advantage for Royal there would be they have been in this situation quite a few times. 2015 and 2004, even 14. And the score still at CR is 10 points to 5 in favor of St. Joseph's. They are leading there. But even if St. Peter's go down, I believe the match against Royal will be the ultimate title decider. But given how Royal is going, it will take some performance to stop this Royal unit.
Yes, that's right. It'll give them a lot of confidence. I think if St. Peter's managed to just lose by a bonus point, yet the league title will very much be in play. As we have a look at the highlights, the first try, skipper Sabit Feroz going over, then linking up beautifully and going in for his second try. Dulan Gunawardena slotting the conversion over, and then Royals driving maul coming into play, and they have scored just in that next try. And just on the stroke of full time, Royal Gautam going over for Isipathana and Rubeiro converting. So with that, the score is 41 points to 7 is the full-time score.
And of course, Abdullah, we got to decide a man of the match for today's performance. Definitely a Royalist and one of those backs, perhaps. Who's your pick?
Yeah, that's right. I think it's been a very tough game to control, and I thought Mubin Falil coming into the game today controlled it very well at the base. He brought his forwards into the game. His kicking from the base was extremely good. So I think considering his overall performance, Mubin Falil will be my man of the match today.
There you go. So Mubin Falil, the ThePapare.com player of the match. And as you see on the left of your screen, it's 41 points to 7. Not a usual sight in this Royal versus Isipathana encounters, but that's how good Royal have been today. They've just totally outclassed Isipathana, and they will regain the Major Milroy Fernando Trophy after a lapse of 2 years. So that would be it from us here. So on behalf of Abdullah Yusuf, SW Chang, and myself, good evening.
Yes, so that's the final analysis. Royal crossing the Isipathana line on 7 occasions. And the halftime score 22 points to 0, finishing up with 41 points to 7, and a man of the match today, Mubin Falil. So with that performance, I think Royal will go in with a lot of confidence for that final encounter against St. Peter's, which could yet well be the title decider pending the result that will be at London Place. And I think with that performance, I think Royal can definitely go in as overwhelming favourites. As the upcoming fixture tomorrow will be between Kingswood College and Zahira College up in Bogambara. And looking forward to you all joining that encounter. And with that, we will look forward to another good game up in the capital. Zahira College putting up a good performance last week against St. Joseph's. And here is next week's fixtures, the title decider between Royal and St. Peter's at the Royal College Complex. The battle for probably the number 3 and 4 position between St. Joseph's and Isipathana will also be played on the 9th. Kingswood College against Wesley College at CRN FC. It will be another interesting encounter. And Trinity College will look to give their coach Lotte Raikabula a winning send-off against Zahira College up in Pallakale. So those are the fixtures for next week. Another entertaining week has just been concluded with some good games, and I think we can look forward to some good games next week as well.
And also don't forget to catch Rugbypedia every Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. And of course the breakdown, where we'll be discussing all these games, the nitty-gritty stuff, and of course the trio of the week. That's next Wednesday at 5 p.m. So that would be it from us here. So stay tuned for the www.ThePapare.com. The Singer Rugby League enters its final week next week with the title decider, especially Royal against St. Peter's. So I'm Hisham Hamid for ThePapare.com. See you next week.
සතුට බෙදන නම ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම සනසුම දෙන නම එය සිංහ නම මිහිර මවන නම අවස නිවන නම
මුල් පවුලට සතුට සදන සිඟ අත විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය.
Isn't it time to grow up? Now you can with current accounts from DFCC Bank. DFCC Bank. Keep growing.
Some see a myriad of possibilities ready to break out in glory. The choice of every Sri Lankan, no limit.
පිරිසිදු ෆ්‍රෙෂ් හිසක් තියෙන පිරිලි ශක්තිමත්. ඒත් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි වලට පුළුවන් ඒ ශක්තිය නැති කරන්න මම ක්ලියර් මෙන් තෝරගන්නේ ඒ නිසායි. ක්ලියර් මෙන් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි zero කරන නැවුම් මෙන්තෝල් වලින් සමන්විත නිසා මගේ හිස කෙස් හැම විටම ෆ්‍රෙෂ්. ඒ වගේම ඉස්සොරි වලින් නිදහස්. ක්ලියර් මෙන් ඉස්සොරි zero කරයි. ලෝවාංක 1 මෙන්ස් ෂැම්පූ.
Let's start a life-changing partnership. Union Assurance.
Isn't it time to grow up? Now you can with home loans, education loans and vehicle loans from DFCC Bank. DFCC Bank. Keep growing.
Let's start a life-changing partnership. Union Assurance.
Energetic and daring, some see the world in vibrant shades. The choice of every Sri Lankan, no limit.
පිරිසිදු ෆ්‍රෙෂ් හිසක් තියෙන පිරිලි ශක්තිමත්. ඒත් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි වලට පුළුවන් ඒ ශක්තිය නැති කරන්න මම ක්ලියර් මෙන් තෝරගන්නේ ඒ නිසායි. ක්ලියර් මෙන් අධික තෙල් සහ ඉස්සොරි zero කරන නැවුම් මෙන්තෝල් වලින් සමන්විත නිසා මගේ හිස කෙස් හැම විටම ෆ්‍රෙෂ්. ඒ වගේම ඉස්සොරි වලින් නිදහස්. ක්ලියර් මෙන් ඉස්සොරි zero කරයි. ලෝවාංක 1 මෙන්ස් ෂැම්පූ.
සතුට බෙදන නම ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම සනසුම දෙන නම එය සිංහ නම මිහිර මවන නම අවස නිවන නම සෙනෙහ
පවුලට සතුට සදන සිඟ අති විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය.
Technique, tactics, attack, defense, pattern. Back to the board, the rugby analysis.
We don't make this stuff up here. You're watching the best researched in-depth analysis on schools rugby 2018. You're on ThePapare.com. Welcome to the breakdown.